and nearly broke Donald Trump is firing staff and closing election offices. Now, in the middle of an election, yes. And on the other side, a Joe Biden campaign that is raising gobs of money is opening offices and preparing to execute this ambush ground game that I went over with you on either the Thursday or the Friday show last week. So here's what's going on. Axios reports Trump's RNC struggles in swing states as Biden's team grows. And indeed, it's a short article. I encourage you to check it out. The article explains how Donald Trump's campaign is trying to win an election, I guess, by just relying on external financial support. We're going to get money from the RNC. We're going to get money from I don't even know who, because its own budget is severely limited by the fundraising problems that they are having. And part of what's going on here is that Trump isn't doing much campaigning. He's got the legal issues going on. He's focused on hush money and attacking judges' daughters and playing golf and winning tournaments at his own golf courses and whatever else the case may be. And there is a real and serious problem here. As the article goes on to say, less than 8 months before the election, significant parts of the RNC's get out the vote strategy in states likely to decide the election are playing catch up after Trump's team ousted, that means laid off, fired, 60 staffers in its recent takeover. About a third of those ousted staffers were state directors and regional policy directors, jobs that are key to recruiting, training, and mobilizing volunteers. They've been in limbo for 2 weeks, telling them they were laid off but could reapply. Some have reapplied, have been asked to participate in virtual interviews with under a day's notice. One RNC staffer on the payroll through the end of the month was kicked out of their office by a Trump campaign aide who also locked the staffer out of the data server. It's all chaos. It's all chaos. So they're closing offices. They're firing staffers. Part of it is lack of money. Part of it is they need complete and total loyalty. That we talked on the bonus show last week about a new sort of litmus test that is being applied to incoming RNC applicants, which is, do you believe that the election was stolen from Trump in 2020? And the report is that if you say, I'm a Republican, I support Trump, but I don't think 2020 was stolen, apparently that means they don't hire you, which they have not denied to this point and is pretty wild. So on the Trump side, this is not where you want to be in April in an election year. On the other hand, and I know low approval rating, not everybody's happy with Joe Biden. I know what's going on. But on the Biden side, you're seeing a proactive campaign effort. You are seeing swing state activity, voter mobilization, explosive fundraising, where at last count, Biden reportedly has double or slightly more than double the money that Trump has to spend. Campaign finance is broken, right? Normal disclaimer. Campaign finance is broken. But if you're raising twice as much money as your opponent, it's certainly a useful proxy to measure enthusiasm, at least to some degree. And I know that it's so boring and so it's the opposite of titillating, but ground game and door knocking and voter activation, engagement of this kind, the election could hinge on this or any number of other factors if it's expected to be close. And there's one other aspect to the story that I think is important to mention. Corporate media is not really acknowledging the disparity between the Trump campaign and the Biden campaign right now. Yes, they occasionally mention the fundraising numbers. They reported on Biden's fundraising right after the State of the Union address. They will sometimes talk about cash on hand. But if you zoom out and you see not only Biden crushing Trump in fundraising, which, by the way, when they report on polling, they should also mention the fundraising numbers paint a very different story. And you don't usually donate to a candidate you have no enthusiasm in seeing win or voting for. And so the fundraising numbers really should be reported in that context. But there's a disparity here in the ground game. There's a disparity in that one side is hiring and one side is firing. One side is opening offices and the other side is closing offices. So hopefully corporate media will start telling this story at some point. We will certainly be telling it. And none of it is an excuse to rest on our laurels. All of it is just a reminder, hey, there's an opportunity here to keep Trump out. And that's what we're trying to do. The household products you buy every week impact the environment. 30 million trees are destroyed every year for toilet paper in the US alone. Our sponsor, Real, makes a sustainable toilet paper, contains no trees. It uses 100% bamboo. Real's paper is certified by the Forest Stewardship Council, meaning they are responsibly harvesting bamboo grass that's used for their paper. And bamboo toilet paper is softer and stronger than regular toilet paper. It's a win for everybody, including the planet. And while regular toilet paper is wrapped in plastic as well, Real Paper's packaging is fully plastic-free and compostable. Real Paper partners with One Tree Planted. With every box of Real that you buy, they are funding reforestation efforts around the country. So unlike the other toilet paper that cuts down trees, Real Paper doesn't use trees and is helping to actively plant trees. I have Real toilet paper on a subscription, so I don't run out. The subscription gives you an extra discount as well. Go to realpaper.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman for 30% off your first order and free shipping. The link is down below.